Hey guitar friends, this is Prokopis from String Systems and I want to welcome you to day 4 of this new edition of SFS Fretboard Secrets. Today we'll continue to explore the string fragment system and see how it's an ideal educational tool for developing your personal soloing style. I mean, copying other people's licks can be cool sometimes, but the real fun starts when you learn to express yourself in a personal way. If you're new here, you can still learn a lot from this lesson, but I do encourage you to look below and sign up for the complete series. That way you won't miss out on all the cool things we have been learning. So let's get started. Sometimes, instead of trying to explain everything with theory, it's better to jump in and start playing. That's what we'll do now. I'll take you on a trip around the fretboard, we'll do a little experiment, and you'll see firsthand how SFS helps you develop your personal soloing language. Then when I do explain a few things at the end, it will be much easier for you to understand what I'm saying after we have done this. So let's start with a single string fragment. This is SF1, or string fragment 1, of the system we use for pentatonic scales. It contains the first two notes of the minor pentatonic scale, the root and the minor third. We'll do this in the key of A, so I will find an A on the fretboard and place my string fragment there. When I play these notes, I want you to notice how the root, the A, sounds very balanced and at home against the background harmony. That's the sound of the root note. It sounds like home base. The other note sounds good too, but it has a different kind of energy to it. And when you return to the root, that energy is resolved. That's how all music works. Every note in a scale has a particular type of energy. Each note has a function because of its relationship to the root note. So if you want to speak the language of music, you need to get a feel for the energy in all the notes of a scale. But theory is not the way to learn them. Do you notice that when you speak, you're not thinking of grammar? Grammar is good. There's a place for it, just like there's a place for theory in music. But when you just want to talk to someone, grammar can give you paralysis by analysis. The same goes with music theory. I can explain the scale degrees and give you all the fancy terms until we're all blue in the face, and you still won't be able to play a melodic solo. So let me show you how we do this in a practical and fun way using the string fragment system. We'll work with these two notes and at the same time add a nice articulation element to them. Let's add the slide. So I will go to every A on the fretboard and try to make music just with these elements. One string fragment and sliding between the two notes any way I want, whenever I want to. Remember, this is free improvisation, not an exercise, so we'll try to be creative even with just two notes. So I just improvised for like less than 2 minutes. Now, if we took big bulky box shapes with 12 to 18 notes each and improvised for 2 minutes, our mind would not manage to remember anything. But because we focused on these limited elements, we have already begun assimilating what we played. I bet that even just by watching, these sounds are already ringing in your head. In fact, even if a total beginner begins practicing this way, he or she will see themselves using these elements intuitively and automatically very soon. When you keep adding improvisation elements in this way, the sounds stay in your head and the connection between ears and fingers begins to develop. If you already signed up for this series and you're watching this inside SFS Fretboard Secrets, then you'll find a guided, interactive, just play practice track below this video, which will take you through improvising with what we just learned in all positions. If you haven't signed up and you want to learn more and discover what else is possible with SFS, make sure to get this series by clicking below. It's completely free. Usually in my YouTube lessons, I choose 2 or 3 string fragments to demonstrate whatever concept I'm teaching, like we did in the previous lessons for this course. That's because it makes the lesson easy enough to understand, even if it's your first time with SFS, and you still have enough notes to move around and be creative all over the fretboard. But you should keep in mind that with most scales and melodic structures, you need to learn 5 or sometimes 7 string fragments if you want to be completely free and have every possible position available. And it's not so hard to learn all of them, but it does take some practice and it requires a structured method. That's why it's important to begin with less string fragments. In my experience teaching this for almost 10 years now, I have found that the best step-by-step systematic way to teach improvisation is to start with just 1 string fragment, like we did here, and then gradually add the rest one by one. At the same time, I recommend adding improvisation ideas that work well with the number of string fragments you are working on. That's what we did today. We took a single improvisation idea, the slide, and just 2 notes and worked with them in order to allow the simple elements to sink in and become your own. And in the same way we added the slide to your language vocabulary, we can add many different ideas. Some of them as simple as the slide, others more sophisticated. At the same time, we can work with the string fragments by adding more or by building the system backwards in the descending direction and things like that. You see, SFS is not just about learning a scale. It's not just a replacement for box shapes, even though it does that very well. No, it's a complete musical education philosophy that promotes creativity. I mean, even if you know all the scales everywhere on the fretboard, what's the point if you can't be creative and melodic with them? People think that being melodic is a special talent that only a select few possess, but it's a skill, like any other skill. You can develop it if you approach it the right way. Box shapes don't help with that at all. On the contrary, starting with a single string fragment and building on that while working on the musical side of things in parallel is ideal. In my premium courses like SFS Pentatonics or SFS Modes, we use this exact step-by-step method. Instead of memorizing boxes and memorizing licks and trying to imitate something, you get to develop your personal musical language. You get to express yourself using the guitar. If you're interested in checking out these courses or the String Partners subscription, which gives you access to all my courses, then just click the links below to learn more. Okay, thanks for watching. Until I see you again in the next lesson, please use the comments below to let me know what you think about SFS. Those of you that have bought an SFS course or already signed up as String Partners, please go ahead and speak out. It can be a tough decision for newcomers to trust a teacher and invest in online courses. So the experience of those on the inside can be very encouraging for those that are thinking about taking the next step. As always, I'd love to hear from anyone that has any questions or comments, and I'll do my best to answer as soon as possible. Thank you for watching, and remember to enjoy your practice and be effective.